Inside Town and Country Flooring Center.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Safety first at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety first. That's right, safety first. Remember, school is about to start. Look twice, then look again. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where safety is first. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, 401k, up to 4% of your gross pay. We match it, 4% of your gross pay. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Drive.
All right, Will, hold on. We're not on air yet.
Yeah, we are.
We're on the air. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Today in L.A. And it is a Thursday, August the 15th, as we head downward toward high school and college football. In fact, your first college football game is only a week away. Is that right?
I think that's right. Will's been counting it down.
And that pits the Sanford Bulldogs against the Youngstown Mike. I need to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring these guys in right here real quick on our show. One, and one. Well, we're on. Is that both of you on now?
Yeah, I'm on.
How about you, Will? All right, we got both of them on. Will Matthews calling in.
Are we live?
Yes, sir, we're live as you can be.
We had some technical difficulties. Got on a little later.
But we look great this morning, and of course, today is Be Kind to Davis Allen Day. This is Davis Allen, a pitcher in the Messenger today. He's an outstanding wide receiver, a defensive back, quarterback. He plays all kinds of positions. But I just want you to know that that's a picture in today's Messenger. Now, if this was your son, how many Messengers would you buy today?
I'd buy them out.
And of course, and his father his parents are very good friends of mine, Wes Wes, and we appreciate him this morning. But Davis Allen, and of course Wes Allen, is an
That's a
outstanding
half-page
player.
Close-up. He looks like a Hollywood matinee idol, doesn't he?
No question about it. He's a good player in all sports and a great smile.
His dad was a walk-on receiver at Alabama.
That's right. Walked on, and his dad, one of his dad's best friends at Alabama was who? It was his coach. Dabo Swinney. And of course, again, meet the Patriots tomorrow night at Patriot Stadium, and of course we'll be out there with our cameras to take a look at the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots for the 2019 season.
Doesn't the AISA always start 1 week earlier than the...
No, they used to, but not this year.
Right.
Not this year. They'll Pike Liberal Arts is on the road at Morgan Academy to open the season.
Morgan Academy, who they just beat for the
that's right.
baseball championship. Wow.
Not this Saturday, not this Friday night, but next Friday night. And then, of course, the Charles Henderson High School Trojans of Troy play host to the Pike County Bulldogs in the annual Pike County High Charles Henderson High School Jamboree, which is an outstanding game every year. And you can expect 4,000 to 5,000 people at that game. Mm-hmm. The last time we did it, Mike, were you with...
Well, where are they playing the golf tournament this week? They're in the playoffs. They're playing in the BMW? Where's that going to be played?
Hey, Will Matthews, won't you please come home? Hello, Mike. Are you still on?
Yeah,
you might have lost Will.
All right, let's see if we.
Well, he's probably doing some legal work.
Well, we're gonna.
Probably missed him.
All right, might be in a McDonald's line getting coffee too.
Well, he's on there.
All right, Will, are you on? We'll put the mic on hold and check here. Are you on, Will Matthews?
You got me.
Okay, got Mike and waiting on Will Matthews, and we're gonna check him out right here. Just 1 second.
No, Will's on there. You don't hear the car?
No, I don't hear the car. Do you hear the car?
Yeah, you can't hear that he's driving?
Good morning, Will. How you doing? I don't know. For some reason, we don't have a connection.
Well, all right, we'll move forward. He'll let us know when he's back.
Yeah, and we'll try this one more time and see if we can pick him up.
You had him on.
Okay. Yeah, we had him on.
The light says he's on.
And the light says he's on, so, well, maybe he is on. Hope that you're having a great day on this Thursday. And, of course, Troy University in their second day of school. And I rode through campus, and, boy, it was bustling yesterday. And everybody's excited. You go to Walmart, you're going to have to wait in line in most cases because there's so many kids here now. You know, your population goes from probably a solid 15 to 16,000, and then you throw another 7,000 to 8,000 students in overnight, and you're
right.
different. If you own a business on the bypass or anywhere that deals with college students, you're busy today.
I noticed that the population of Troy has grown to over 19,000. Forever it was 13,000.
Yeah, that's right.
I've done some research on how the census counts. I think the only students they count in that number are permanent residents. So if you live here full time, so most of the students are not counted in that $19,000 figure, 19,000 figure. So really, if you include, say, 80% of the student body, the people that have put their head on a pillow every night in Troy is probably, what'd you say, about 26,000 people?
I wouldn't doubt it. It's got to be at least that. And
how does Pike County have over 33,000, 34,000 people, though? I mean, where are all the rest of those people living? Just out in the country?
Yeah.
Well, there are a few people in Brundage and a few people in Goshen and a few people in Banks.
Brundage has, what, 3,000 people probably?
Yeah.
About 2,500 maybe.
But what the mayor, the former mayor, Jimmy Lunsford, used to always look at it this way. He would count electrical hookups.
That's right, utility
hookups, and he gauged how many people lived in town with the electrical hookup.
That's the best way as far as I'm concerned, yeah.
Exactly right.
I thought the best way was a census.
Yeah.
I think that that's the way they do it, but really, if you want to know how many households you have, you just count the people, because how many people live in the household that doesn't have electricity?
That's right. We'll put you on hold a second. Might be right back. And Will Matthews, are you there? Will's just not to be located. Mike, are you there now? Well, let's see here. Okay, Will and Mike, are you both there now?
Got me.
Will Matthews, we don't have Will, so something, he's not on the line, but maybe we'll do him.
He's definitely on. I'm hearing wind or something.
Yeah, okay, you
Hope
hear
he's okay.
In his car. Is Will Matthews okay? Do you see Will Matthews riding down the road? Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving closer and closer to football season. And Mike, a big news.
Alabama's got more injuries they're dealing with. They got Josh McMillan, starting linebacker, out. Trey Sanders, starting running back, out. Then they got Anthony Jennings, who's a great defensive end.
Oh, yeah.
Brace on his right knee. DJ Depp, who's supposed to be the starter out of Clay Chalkwell, he's got a sprained knee, wasn't practicing. Then the backup nose guard, Stephen Wind, is out. So Alabama's got a lot of injuries.
LeBron Ray, who's supposed to start, just came back from an injury, so he's not 100%. You're right. They're adding up in a hurry.
That's right. For long they're going to just take the pads off and just practice preseason in shorts. And the only thing that's telling me the difference in shoulder pads and helmets and the difference in full pads is you're going to get some folks hurt. I mean, you can do the same things with shoulder pads and shorts. just don't do it 100%, you know.
I think a lot of these injuries aren't even, there's no hitting involved. It's just cutting wrong or
because
whatever.
in most cases, they know that they'll hit. You know, they can put them in a wrestling ring and know they'll hit. You know, there's no question about it.
I mean, they got to get them to the ground every once in a while, though.
But most of them, these 5-stars and these 4-stars, they know how to do that. Kay Ivy was in town yesterday to visit Rex Lumber, and
I rode by that the other
she
day.
said she could not believe how big that site is.
I went to Montgomery 2 days ago, and on the way back to Montgomery, I said, I'm going to ride by and see what it looks like out at Rex Lumber, and it is eye-opening. It's awesome. Looks like it's ready to go to me, and it is just building after building, taking up a lot of land.
Well, it's located north of Troy, and you know, all you have to do is get off on the old 231 there, and you'll go right by it. Right now, they're employing 120 beginning in 2020, but right now 66 people are employed, and it will get more and more as the buildings are constructed. It's an outstanding industry that's moving to Troy, and they have put a lot of money into their to their business. And
there's a new road that's been built too.
That's right.
Get some. I remember that their total investment over time is going to be more than $100 million.
And which is, you know,
I've looked at the industries that have come to Troy and Pike County in my lifetime. Nobody has ever invested $100 million in a new business. And Lockheed Martin did not come close to investing $100 million when they first came to Pike County. So that's impressive.
No question. Article in the Messenger today, Dr. Brock Kelly, former principal of Charles Henson High School, one of the youngest principals in the state, has resigned to take a position with the state of Alabama Education Department, and great opportunity for him. You can't, you know, it was a career move, and I know everybody said, well, the principal's leaving, you know, right here with school starting, but, you know, opportunities knock, and you know, you got to put yourself in his place. You know, he's getting a great opportunity to work at the state level, and he just received his doctorate degree. Heck, this guy's not even 30 years old, and he's already got a doctorate degree. And we're more power to him, and wish him a lot of luck. Also, The Voice, Kirk J was in town to entertain Female Factor yesterday, and the rising country singer from Bay Minette was in concert Wednesday at Park Memorial United Methodist Church, hosted by the Female Factor. You know, you familiar with that?
No.
Oh, man, you need to be. It's a program that was started through Troy Bank and Trust Company and the Troy Regional Medical Center and some other people. They've been doing this a long time. John Ed Madison that spoke to this group probably 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, okay.
But they do it once a month, and they do a great job. And they had Kirk J., who is
I watched him on The Voice. He's really talented. He almost won it. He, I think, finished 3rd overall.
Yeah, well, he was here yesterday, and those girls went wild. A great picture in the paper.
So we had Kirk J. here, and we had Kay Ivy here. Who else
the
did we
governor
have?
was here, and Kirk J., the Voice, from Voice fame, performed for a special meeting of Female Factor on Wednesday at Park Memorial Methodist Church, and Tanya Terry.
He sings like old school country music too. It's pretty amazing.
Tanya Terry was there. Pamela Snell, Cheryl DeShera, Catherine Jordan, and Julie Boutwell had the picture on the front page, and it turned out to be another one of the great Female Factor events. And if you're a lady out there or a young woman out there that wants to meet Troy and get in touch with the other women in the city, you need to join Female Factor, because there were hundreds of females from Pike County in attendance yesterday, and great people. And of course, Female Factor is a unique program set up for the ladies here in Troy and Pike County. had a wonderful meal yesterday, Mike, last night. Walked in and sat down at Yanni's new place in downtown. What's the name of that place now? Frederica's.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was outstanding, Mike. I ate. I ordered the spaghetti. I'm a big spaghetti guy.
Ooh, I love it too.
And they had a lot of fresh bread. They brought out that fresh bread and had that
garlic bread.
Yeah, bread, and then I had the oil. To dip it in, and it was wonderful. And when I got my plate, I ate and I ate and I ate, and by the time I had half of it full, I said, "Well, I believe I can eat this meal again." So I had it packaged up.
That's
took
good
it home,
to hear.
And I'll probably have it for lunch.
You can go to the square and get some great spaghetti.
Well, it's outstanding, and the very good service. It was packed with people, but the people came in and out, and
they only open like 3 nights a week?
Yeah, they're going to have to make a change there. How in the world can they not be open on Saturday?
They will be.
They're open right now.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
They probably want to enjoy the weekend.
That's right. Well, I tell you what, he knows how to cook Italian food. Now, sitting right next to me.
He's actually Greek, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Greek. Yeah, he's Greek, but he's married into a Pike County family, and he's a great guy. And talking about Yanni, and he's famous for his pasta Yanni, Mike, is what he's famous for, and a lot of people ordered that. I'm a spaghetti guy and a pasta Yanni guy, and everybody I saw, including the Mayor Troy, who was sitting right next door to me, and he couldn't eat all his. Everybody was taking something home with them because they were fed that much and that well at Yanni's place last night. And we've got a very good Italian restaurant in Troy, Alabama right now.
I love that.
And there were several things you could have ordered. Mike, I know how you like Italian food, and I'm going to eat
Italian food at our favorite place in Grayton tonight, Braga.
Well, I tell you what, we're Francisca's, I believe is the name of this new restaurant.
Mike in South Beach, you sounds like you eat at some good restaurants down there. I'm envious.
Yeah, my wife, I don't really have to buy her too many gifts. She would rather just go to have a really nice dinner and have a lot of glasses of wine somewhere. That's kind of what she enjoys.
That's nothing to brag about today.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying she enjoys nice dinners. She enjoys that more than presents, I guess.
I understand. I also want to say hello to Joe Watson and all the great people at Bird Drug on the corner of downtown Troy. Great people, great breakfast this morning. Started at 7 o'clock, and wonderful, wonderful food. And we appreciate them. Their milkshakes and hamburgers are next to none. Their chicken salad and their...
what about their pharmacy? You're their number one customer at the pharmacy.
Oh, man, I'm their big customer at the pharmacy. And, I tell people...
They actually deliver. That's pretty good thing.
I'll tell you something about Bird Drugs. Of course, you've lived here almost all your adult life, and most of your life. Money never changes hands unless I tip the waitress. Everything is charged. I go in and I eat breakfast and have coffee, and later on, if I want a hamburger, I call them up and tell them I want a hamburger, and a lot of times I park right out front, run in, grab that sack, and walk out. No money has changed hands until the end of the month. Everything's charged, and I pay for it at the end of the month. Now, I don't know if that they want that kind of advertising now, but that's the way they do it, and the way they did it 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, and they do it just like that.
That's today. The way Troy was when my parents were growing up.
You can charge it if you meet the criteria at Bird Drugs.
Because my mom, she said she never paid for anything. She just went in. Every business in Troy, you just went in and charged it, and they knew to mail the bill to Hickey.
I've got to throw this out one more time this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I don't know if I will or not. Well, whatever did the thing go? Oh, boy. I want to mention the Pike Liberal Arts Band is raising money with a mattress sale. It says the Pike Liberal Arts Patriot Band is teaming with Custom Fundraising Solutions out of Birmingham to do a mattress fundraiser, and said this is the first big fundraiser for the band to raise money for their general band fund. Mattresses will be up to 50% below retail price, starting at $249 for a twin and $289 for a full, and $299 for a queen, and $499 for a king or California king. All sizes will be available and sets included. You know, and this is a way that
I've never heard of a mattress sale fundraiser.
That's right. Name brands include Simmons, Beauty Rest, Therapeutic, or whatever.
How many kids march in the Pilot Bars band?
Well, I don't know, but they've got a band, and very few teams at schools in the independent schools have bands.
That's great.
And it's great. Every purchase benefits the band. The sale will be at Pike Liberal Arts School cafeteria on Sunday, August 18th, from 11 to 5 p.m. Now, you know, Troy is a mattress town now with the college being here. You know, I see trucks all the time with a mattress on the back of it going somewhere.
Yeah, I'm talking about, you're right. Yeah, all these students got to have their
And I'll
mattress.
tell you something right now. When was the last time you changed your mattress on your bed? I can't remember.
I usually at least 10 years.
I can't remember changing my mattress on my bed. Evidently, I like it because I sleep well in it a lot better than anywhere else.
You're supposed to turn them from time to time or flip them.
Yeah, you're supposed to turn them, I think, every couple of years.
That's right.
Or months,
now, at the beach, now, Mike, it's a different story.
Oh, my God, an old beach house from the 40s.
Man, I know it, but at beach houses, you know, a lot of people change mattresses, especially if they rent their condominium out. They change it quite often. But again, mattress sale at Pike Liberal Arts this Sunday, and some great deals. And
So you just go to the school.
go to the school, and great opportunity from 11 to 5 p.m. on Sunday, August the 18th. And
I love a unique fundraiser.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's looking for a fundraiser, and then if you can come up with one that, you know, people aren't familiar with.
Exactly right. No question about it.
Surely you have to pre-order, though. They're not going to come down here with an 18-wheeler.
I don't know. They might. I would think they would come down here with a
yeah, if you have a whole school
yeah.
pushing this, yeah.
No question about it. Of course,
I tell you what, if you can get a king-size mattress for $4.99, that's a steal.
that is a steal. You're exactly right.
I got a king-size mattress that's about $1,200.
Yeah, I know it. You're right. No question about it. And evidently, it's a beauty rest. Is that right?
We were going to mention it. I don't know if we mentioned before we went on the air, but Troy Sports Radio Network has hired their new sideline reporter, Junior Lassant, the former Troy offensive lineman. Of course, he's famous for the Missouri game when Missouri came to Troy. He's the one that picked up the DeWitt Betterson fumble and went about 60 yards for a touchdown, outrunning the defensive backs for Missouri. So congratulations to Junior Lassant. He takes over Chris Blackshear's place as a sideline reporter for Troy.
And I'm tickled.
Blackshear was a sideline reporter the last 14 years.
And did a great job.
He sure did.
Did a great job. And Junior, congratulations. Great guy, great player. Represents this university very well, and he'll do a great job. Another good pick by Jerry.
He obviously knows football.
That's right. And, of course, we're so glad we were able to hold on to our play-by-play guy, McKnight. Mike, he came very, very, very close to getting that job at Auburn. And they gave it to the guys that had been there, which I think deservingly so, because they had quite a nice network. And, of course...
So you know for sure he interviewed for that job?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he would have been crazy not to. Yes, oh yeah. I would think that you know, the SEC job would pay a lot more money and would have a lot more prestige than being in the SEC. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
So, but I tell you what, McKnight is a great announcer, and I say that with there's been a lot of great announcers out there, but I think he's a great announcer. He's professional all the way. To go with Jerry Miller, our buddy from Zion Chapel, Alabama. Would you ever thought 20 years ago that our play-by-play assistant would be from Zion Chapel, Alabama, downtown Zion Chapel.
He's great at it, though.
And that's what I'm saying.
Isn't that called Jack, Alabama?
Jack, Alabama, or there's another name too, Jack. What's another name right there in that little area? Not just Jack. It's not just Zion Chapel. It's Wilkinstown.
I'll say one thing about
hey, there's another name, Wilkinstown. Have you ever heard of that?
I'll say one thing about Barry McKnight, though. He can do a lot of things good, but nobody can do the drawdown in the raffle of the $10,000 like Mike Amos did for 20 years.
Well, that's over with now, but I did.
Took it away from you, man.
Well, I did let everybody know they were appreciated once I pulled the letter. If he had played here 10 years ago, I said he played here 10 years ago. And of course, if somebody had been supporting our program for the last 10, 15 years, I would tell them he's been a great supporter for the last 15 years, and we appreciate him. But you're down the drain. And when it came down and went in the top 5, where you come down, I saw it all from a Cadillac to a motor home to a van.
Yeah, y'all used to do a lot of vans.
Oh yeah, until we realized how much money we were losing, because the vans were costing us $18,000 to $20,000, and so we weren't clearing the kind of money we wanted to. Then we started giving away $10,000, and then of course,
a lot of people didn't want to split. You could split the $10,000.
Right.
I know a friend of mine, Philip Grice. He wouldn't split, and he ended up winning the $10,000.
That's right. I remember
good.
a guy that might have had a little too much to drink, but he says, deal the cards, and on the next pick, his name was, we dealt the cards all right, and he was gone. But most people split. The tickets are $125, and if you like one, call Judy Morgan at the athletic department today, and she's got one for you, I promise you.
I was there one year, and Jack Rainey won the money,
right.
and he wasn't there, and he's an old family friend of mine, and so I went and called him and said, guess what, Mr. Rainey? You just won $10,000.
That excited him. You know what? And his buddy and my very, very good friend of all time, Leon Hillier, won a Cadillac one year. Won a brand new Cadillac.
The rich get richer.
But what it is, all of this was to raise money for the Troy Athletic Department, and now they're giving away $10,000, and they're right now close to 400 tickets are sold every year.
I tell you what, those are some fun, epic parties over the years. I remember when I was in college and I would go to them. Man, that was a lot of fun.
That is a great party. The food is outstanding. It's all you can eat, and you'll see.
The old Holiday Inn days were classic.
Oh yeah, no question. And that was done on a Thursday. And let me tell you this: if I will get a little attention here. I raised myself over 100 door prizes every year. I'm talking about the finest restaurants in Montgomery, the finest restaurants in Dothan.
That's amazing.
But
you wouldn't ask for those prizes.
I asked for those prizes.
For 100 people.
Yeah.
You imagine that, folks.
For over 100 people for a long time. But we were, and see, the bad thing about it was we let anybody that walked in the building. We didn't charge any admission at all, and anybody walking in the building would be a candidate for a door prize. And why I do that? Why didn't we? As I think back, we should have gave the door prizes to the over 300 people that had bought tickets. You know what I mean? But we gave it to anybody, so everybody. There would be. I'm not exaggerating. There'd be 400 to 500 people in that building. And thank goodness the fire marshal didn't shut us down, but that went on for a long time out at the Holiday Inn.
You know what?
That's where the Holiday Inn had that bar out there, too, so it was actually a really good place to have it.
Y'all had the auction some year, and I remember my dad, he donated a football that was signed by most of the members of the 1961 National Championship Alabama football team. He went to a reunion of that team and bought a white ball and got as many as he could and coaches to sign it. And the late Marv Dillard won that.
Oh, I love old Marv, and we miss him today.
Yeah, sure do.
No question about it. But, you know, one of the reasons I brought this topic up, there was a little girl yesterday in the alumni office. We were talking back and forth, and she said, "Are you going to the drawdown?" I said, "Well, I've got another conflict. I got something more important. It's my little granddaughter's birthday, so that's where I'm going. I'm not going to the drawdown, but I'm going to the birthday party." But it's something that is a great way to give to Troy, if you want to give to Troy $125 and a chance to win either $10,000 or if you split it, $2,000 a piece or whatever you want to do. But
it's a great social event,
and it is
too.
a fun party and a great social
Get to see
event.
all your friends. And
great way to kick off the season. Of course,
so you get to see the new field.
Yeah, you get to see the new. Well, I don't know if they allow them to see the new field or not, but they might.
Well, I mean, it's in the stadium club.
Yeah, but I would also. No, it's not, Mike. It's in the arena, Trojan Arena.
Oh, really? When they move it to the arena?
Ever since they built the arena.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So it's at the ground floor of the beautiful arena, air-conditioned, cool as it can be. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen Saturday. All right, first of all, a couple of things tonight. Meet the Charles Henderson Trojans tonight. Meet the Pike Liberal Arts Trojans on Friday night. And then on Saturday morning, 9:45 or 9:30, there'll be a scrimmage for Troy University football. We'll have their second scrimmage of the year. That's going to be interesting. A lot of folks will come into Troy to see that. And then at 1 o'clock, at 12 noon, we're having a giant fish fry at the Alumni House. $10 a plate for all the fish you want to eat. And it'll be delicious. My good friend
Dewey Destin recipes.
That's right, Dewey Destin coming all the way from Fort Walton Beach. Lloyd Taylor will be doing the cooking, and it'll be a great feed at 12 noon on Saturday. And then at 1 o'clock, meet the Trojans, and that means they'll have what they call Fan Day, and this will happen at the Trojan Arena starting at 1 o'clock, and you can meet every player that plays for Troy University, and they'll hand out things to get your signatures and get all the
cheerleaders can be there, and T-Roy.
All the cheerleaders will be there. The volleyball team, the soccer team, the cross country team, all the athletes that are be performing here in September will be there for your autograph, and of course all the football players. And last I counted, they dress about 130 right now. Players.
Now school started back. They probably got some walk-ons.
That's what I'm saying. They had 105 that were able to come early, and now I think they add another 25 or 30 more players.
And some of these walk-ons will end up being important players.
They will, and they will. But I'm just saying what a big weekend it'll be. And then of course after all of this,
then someone will step out there and realize that they have no business playing college football.
That's exactly right. And I'm going to tell you a little story in a minute that is so true. But and then of course that night the drawdown starts at 6:30. I want to say it'll be shrimp, all the shrimp you can eat, and all kinds of good food that comes with it. You can carry my ticket, Rice.
Is it an open bar or cash bar?
Well, it's a cash bar, and but I would say that it's going to be a lot of fun.
That definitely changed over the years. It used to be all you could drink.
Oh yeah, and we're talking about not just beer. I mean, it was the biggest party in this county's history.
It was.
I mean, people came from everywhere, but thank goodness they've got it back down the way it should be. You should have to pay for your alcohol if you get it, and of course there'll be plenty of food and plenty of good old ice water and Coca-Colas and whatever you want to drink, and if you want adult beverage, you'll have to pay for it, but rightfully so. But it's a big weekend for Troy people, and a great opportunity to not only watch the Trojans practice on Saturday morning, but also watch the get autographs and meet the Trojans that will be competing this fall on our football field.
Get a fish dinner at the alumni house at noon. That's a lot going on.
Yeah, no question about it. And then let me tell you this: if you're a Trojan, hear this, Rice.
All right.
If you're a Trojan and you want a wonderful place to go Saturday morning starting at 8:30, you can meet the head football coach at Troy, Chip Lindsey. You can meet the athletic director for a breakfast starting at 8:30. Breakfast starting at 8:30. These are with Troy alumni people, and they'll have their annual alumni gathering. The alumni chapters and members of the Troy University Alumni Association are welcome to come and eat a good hot breakfast at Saturday morning at 8:30.
I want to see the scrimmage, and this is probably the last big scrimmage they'll have before.
That's right. And the scrimmage, this will be in the Stadium Club, all of this, and of course, if you're a member of the Pike County Alumni Chapter, you're welcome to come and sit back and listen to what they say about the upcoming football season and so forth. And there'll be speakers up till about 11 o'clock, and then they'll move over toward the alumni house for that fish fry, and that's
so you can watch the scrimmage from the Stadium Club in the air conditioning.
That's exactly right.
Oh, I might have to do it.
Exactly right. And
I'm a member of the Alumni Association.
That's right. And you can eat breakfast too.
Hey, what does it cost to be a member? $25 a year?
I think so.
25 for I think what it is now. It is 35 for an individual, 50 for a couple. I think that's where it works for alumni dues, and that's free meals before every that's right.
Every home game. So
you get that card, you eat free at every home tailgate, and there'll be at least six, maybe seven if we go to the playoffs, and then also on the road. If you see us on the road with the alumni chapter having a tailgate party, you eat free with that card.
You know, I need to see if I need to renew mine, though. You renew it every year?
Yeah, you renew it every year, and this is a good time to renew.
I got mine last July, so it might have left.
And so, what you do, you go ahead and come out Saturday morning and join the Alumni Association and sit down. And, of course, the Pike County has a very good alumni association led by a guy named Keith Rowland. You know Keith?
Who doesn't know Keith, right?
And he's building quite a chapter there. And, of course, there's chapters from all over. Montgomery, Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach will be represented. And, this fall, this football season.
Can I start a Grayton Beach chapter?
You sure could.
Yeah.
And you got the flag to do it with, man. You got the flag to do it with.
Hey, it's up in Grayton. It's ready to go for the party.
Well, that's great. I'm tickled. And, of course, Mike's got a big party coming up this weekend.
Yeah, my wife's got one more day in her 30s. She'll be 40 tomorrow.
It's a new 30.
Happy birthday, Lee. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lee Amos. Happy birthday to you.
She's taking the kids to school as we speak.
Yeah. Mike, that birthday song went out to over 1 billion people, Mike, on Facebook live.
I understand
we're live on Facebook across the world.
The show is very popular in China, I understand.
It's very popular in China, and it's very popular in Russia. Bangladesh, yes, sir. We got great people everywhere.
Australia, they love us in Australia.
And we love the 12-county area that we represent right here on Channel 2, and hope that you'll watch it. We'll be back with more of Today in L.A. That's Lower Alabama.
I love my job. We get to help people who are having the worst day of their life.
You just got to be ready for whatever hits.
She wasn't breathing. She was almost dead.
Stay still there. Stay still. It's fine.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Safety first at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety first. That's right, safety first. Remember, school is about to start. Look twice, then look again. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where safety is first. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, 401k, up to 4% of your gross pay. We match it, 4% of your gross pay. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Drive for the best. Wiley Sanders.
Bobby Bowden or Tommy Bowden?
No, Terry Bowden. Terry Bowden.
Oh, Terry Bowden,
That's when he was coach.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our good friends at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. Looking for a good deal on a great automobile, both new and used. Drop by Premier today, and believe you me, they're dealing. And they will beat anybody's price on a brand new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram truck, and they've got a great selection to choose from.
Look, guys,
Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep.
I know something we haven't talked about enough, and this is important.
All right, yeah.
To a lot of people watching, who is going to be the starting quarterback at Auburn? Do we have?
You know, they've kept that quiet. I bet you it could come out of this scrimmage Saturday at Auburn.
I'm hearing Gatewood.
And Gatewood is a premium athlete, no question about it, and has a year under his belt, doesn't he?
Isn't he a big rugged runner, or is he a speed runner?
Redshirt freshman.
What type of running style would he have? Do we even know? I mean, I've heard he's a good running threat, but is he like...
I mean, he's a huge guy, 6'5", 230 pounds.
Oh, God.
That's like Mississippi State.
If he can run, if he can run, he should be the quarterback.
I watched him play in high school. I mean, everybody that when he originally signed with Auburn compares him to Cam Newton.
Well, gosh, how in the world can you beat that?
But Cam Newton was almost like a fullback at times running. You know, he was that big. He would run over people.
Cam Newton in the quarterback sneak was the greatest play Auburn had. I think he got 3 yards every time they ran a quarterback sneak.
You're right.
It's like Tim Tebow used to. You couldn't stop him.
I was at the LSU game that year, and he just practically single-handedly beat them. He was great. How about Headland's Drew Newman, one of the top, they say one of the top players in South Alabama. He's a 5'11", 165-pound senior, has announced on Twitter that he's going to Southern Illinois to play his football next year.
The Southern Illinois Salukis.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the Salukis. He's a running back, defensive back last year, will play quarterback and defensive back this year. Everybody says he's really good. His name's Drew Newman. First, and of course, has committed.
Rick Rhodes left Troy after a national championship to go to Southern Illinois.
And took his staff with him. Yeah, sure did.
Boy, Rick Rhodes, I bet he coached at more programs than any coach in the history of football.
If he would only sit still, no telling what could have happened to his career. He was a great coach. I'm not a good coach. He was a great coach.
He won a national championship at Troy.
And
he almost won another national championship at Delta State.
And let me tell you this, he coached at Alabama.
Played the championship game.
He coached at Alabama. He coached at Kentucky. He coached at Southern Illinois. He coached at Troy. He coached at Andalusia High School.
He coached overseas in Germany for years.
He coached overseas in Germany.
I would love to total up how many places he has coached at. Probably got to be 50.
He made a call in the national championship game against Portland State in 1987 that was one of the best calls, Mike, I've ever seen in college football.
What, the double reverse?
Yeah, but what did he do with the double reverse?
I don't know. I mean, it was the wide receivers, wasn't it?
He ran it back to back. When is the last time you've seen a double reverse run back to back? And on the second time, he went untouched for a touchdown. But he ran a double reverse back to back.
That could be one of our greatest plays in Troy history. We were talking about that before the show. Do you want
to hear Rick Rhodes' career?
Yeah, let's hear it. Now, this is going to, ladies and gentlemen, we're not criticizing him as a coach now. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
And then one of the reasons he went so many places, everybody wanted him. I forgot to throw out Nicholls State.
He was an assistant.
He was big in Nicholls State.
Let's say this. He's on Wikipedia, so that's pretty big.
All right. I'm going to write him down.
He's 72 years old. His playing career was at Central Missouri State from 1965 to 1969. He started coaching at Hanley High School in Alabama in 1972.
Hanley, okay. Hanley or Roanoke.
He was the assistant coach at Jeff Davis High School in Montgomery from 73 to 75.
Okay.
He was assistant coach at Mountain Brook in 1976.
Mountain Brook, okay.
In 1977, he was at Davison High School of Alabama.
Davison High School. We're talking about premier programs right there.
I guess he took a break for a little while. In 1980, he was at Andalusia High School.
That's right.
And then in 1981-82, he was offense coordinator at North Alabama.
North Alabama offense coordinator.
And then from 1983 to 1984, he was a defense coordinator at Troy.
Okay, under Bradshaw, I believe.
And then under Gailey.
Okay, that was 84.
I think he might have came with Bradshaw, then he stayed on with
Okay, go ahead.
1985, 1987, he was the head coach at Troy State. 1988, he was the head coach at Southern Illinois. 1989, he was the offensive line coach at Alabama. From 1990 to 1992, he was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky. From 93 to 94, he was the head coach at Nicholls State.
And a good one.
1995, he was the linebacker coach at Stephen F. Austin. From 1996 to 2000, he coached Tyler Watts, was the head coach at Pelham High School. In 2001, he was the offensive line coach of the Birmingham Thunderbolts of the XFL.
Okay.
So that means he coached with Jerry DiNardo as the head coach. And then he went on to be the head coach again at Delta State from 2002 to 2006.
He won a national championship, didn't he?
He played for a national championship.
Okay.
Campbell won the national championship. Steve Campbell did.
Okay.
2007 to 2011, he coached overseas for the Graz Giants. And then he coached in 2012 with the Carson Stand Cruisers. And then 2013, he coached for the Loch Carvine Flash.
And these is over in where now?
This is overseas.
Yeah.
Football over in Europe. And then I was around him then because I went up there to Bobby. Bobby was the head coach at DAR, which is the Daughters of the American Republic.
On the mountain.
On Grant Mountain. He was the defense coordinator there from 2015 to 2016.
Yeah, and then his career ended.
His overall record as the head coach is 78, 48, and 1.
Okay, and how many?
He won the national championship in 1987.
Okay, and had a great team. Let's just count, see how many different jobs he had. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think you might have missed out too. I want to say he was a head coach at a junior high school in Montgomery. And then,
they say he was at Jeff Davis in Montgomery from 73 to 75.
I know it, but prior to that, he was at a junior high team, Floyd Junior High.
I bet this is a partial list, but let's see what it is.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
No, I've got it at 19.
19 different places.
Well,
he coached at 19 different places.
And I bet it's more than that. But
and was an excellent coach. Now, I'm telling you, he was an excellent coach.
How can you go more than 19? 19's a ton.
I know it's a ton. You're right. And,
well, I started this by saying I bet he's coached at more places than any coach in America, and that might be
and
true.
He was a great man, a great role model for kids. I mean, you talk about walking a straight line. He had Chan Gailey. He came here with Chan Gailey. And that was one of the most godly coaching staffs in football history.
He coached me in rec baseball. Him and McInerney did.
Yeah, McInerney. What I'm saying, and of course, on every Tuesday night, you know where they were? They weren't practicing football. They were upstairs reading the Bible. I mean, you never heard profanity.
Did he have children? I wonder what.
Oh yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby and John. His son's a big pilot for Delta.
Delta pilot, one of his sons, and of course Bobby's a fine.
Bobby's the assistant coach at a big high school in Rome, Georgia now, Pepperelli.
And he still has a lot of ties to Troy. A lot of people really love the family, and Donnie and Charles Ingram are real close friends with him. They're
What's his wife's name?
I should know it.
I remember her.
Was it Connie?
No, it wasn't Connie. But,
that's okay. That's a woman.
of course.
They moved more than the military families.
They did. But you know what? I guarantee you, she was supporting him and right behind him.
Yeah.
And all of these were good jobs. Most of all these were jobs.
When he was at Troy, he was 28-7-1. He was 6-4, 10-2, lost in the semifinals of Division II, and then Troy State won the national championship with 12-1-1.
28-7-1. Pretty good record at Troy, wasn't it?
He was only at Southern Illinois 1 year. He was 4-7.
That's right.
Nickel State, he had really bad teams too. He was 3-8, 5-6.
But let me tell you this, though, he didn't have big records because they were 1AA, I want to say, and they played a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah, they were in the Southland Conference.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll tell you, they had to play against McNeese and people like that. But he ran what they call an I-bone. Have you ever heard of the I-bone? Where instead of setting up in a wishbone, it was an I-bone. There were 3 backs behind the center. 3 backs.
Yeah.
You had a quarterback behind the center, a fullback behind the center, a tailback behind the center, and they called it the I-bone, and they ran the option out of it, and he was very successful.
He had good teams at Delta State, the Fighting Okra.
The Fighting Okra. The Fighting Okra.
He was 4-7, 9-2, 6-4, 7-4, and then in 2006, he went 12-3 and lost in the semifinals.
Well, he was probably there longer than anywhere else.
A good trivia question. Tell me the color of the jersey that Delta State wore, and tell me who.
They're green.
That's right. And tell me what their nickname was.
The Statesman.
The Fighting Okra.
No, he was right. No, you were wrong.
The Statesman, but now they're the Fighting Okra.
Yeah, now, who was the governors? Were they ever called the governor?
The governor is Austin Peay.
I remember Delta State because they were an old rival of Troy in the Gulf South Conference.
Yeah.
But Coach Rhodes was 2 years at least an assistant in Troy.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was the head coach for, 3 years?
Yeah.
So he lived in Troy for at least 5 years.
At one time, Charlie Bradshaw had Chan Gailey, Rick Rhodes,
Jim Tompkins,
Jay Jeffcoat, and
the greatest of them all,
Willie Slater. And how about our coach at over in Auburn, Mike?
Yeah, you had a guy from Mountain Brook too,
Yeager was on that, and he's still the head coach at Mountain Brook.
And Chris Yeager.
And you know who else got his start?
And my buddy who was a head coach, who was the guy that was head coach?
You had McInerney.
You had McInerney, but who was the other coach that they had that was so good, Mike, that became head coach after Rhodes left? Robert Maddox.
Yeah.
All of those were on Charlie Bradshaw's staff. Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, I do.
That staff right there could coach with any football team in the Americas.
Yeah, and you know, was a graduate assistant or some kind of student assistant was the recruiting guru that was the recruiting coordinator at Alabama under Dubose, and then coached the high school. And
Ronnie Cottrell.
Ronnie Cottrell got his start with Coach Bradshaw too.
I remember, and ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear this.
Yeah, well, Ronnie Cottrell, he's at Mobile Christian now, but when Dad and I were going to spring training baseball, we came back and watched Florida State practice one day, and Ronnie Cottrell was out there, and the next thing we know, Dad is out there talking to Bobby Bowden in the middle of spring practice.
I know, in the middle of spring practice.
I'm not surprised.
I asked him, I said, Coach Bowden, can I get a picture with you and my son and his friend? He said, oh, I'll be glad to, but let's wait after practice. I was busy going to see baseball down in South Florida.
We went down to watch the Red Sox in Winter Haven, and then we went to Plant City and watched the Reds, and Dunedin we watched the Blue Jays.
And how
We were
about
down there for spring
the
training.
Phillies, Mike? How about the Phillies? We were there with the Phillies too.
Was that fun?
Yeah. It was Dad and I and Richard Calhoun. We went to spring training. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Y'all had some great adventures.
Well, you got to make things happen.
We did spring training 2 seasons. If anybody's got a son and they enjoy baseball, spring training is definitely where you ought to go.
Yeah, it was. And of course, hey, standing right next to the legendary figure of all time in baseball, Mike.
What are you talking about, Wade Boggs?
No, but he wouldn't come. He wouldn't come give us an autograph. You remember?
Who?
Wade Boggs or Mike Smith?
No, the greatest one of them all.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Let's say this. You can say anything in the world about this guy and the way he's lived his life, but he's one of the top 5 baseball players that ever lived. It would be Pete Rose. He's the only guy that's ever had over 4,000 hits in a career. It probably will never happen.
Ichiro Suzuki had more than Rose, but he played in Japan and then he played in the major leagues.
Yeah, that's a big difference now. We're talking about the major leagues.
He had over 3,100 hits in the major leagues.
Yeah. Well, again, though, Rose had over 4,000 hits and is known.
I saw Rose. I was in Vegas on a work trip, and I was at a casino, at an MGM casino, and it was so sad. Pete Rose was in a sports memorabilia shop from 10 to 2, and they said he did it every Saturday. You'd have to pay $100 for an autograph and $150 for a picture.
I bet he got
Rose
rich.
was just sitting there in that place. I walked right by him. He was in the window of a mall attached to a casino.
Always had long hair and kicked back, and he wasn't pretty.
Wore funky purple suits and
That's
stuff like
right. And but let me tell you this, he was a ball player, and people of all the things that he ever did in his life, the thing he is most recognized of doing was what?
Running over that catcher.
Running over the catcher in the All-Star game. When the All-Star game, a game that didn't even count.
Yeah, what is his name, Ray Fosse or something?
Ray Fosse.
I remember that he had a 41 or 42 game hitting streak at one time, and then that hitting streak came to an end against who?
I don't know.
Mike, you know?
I don't know, man.
He was chasing Joe DiMaggio's record.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was against the Atlanta Braves. And I wish I could. Was the pitcher's name Garber or
Gene Garber?
Yeah,
is the one that struck him out his last at bat against the Braves.
Yeah, and snapped that 41 game hitting streak. Was that the top? Was that the closest anybody's ever come to DiMaggio's record? Mm-hmm. All right, records that will never be broken. I'm gonna say that record will never be broken.
There's another guy that has 51, a 42 game hitting streak too.
51 straight games of hitting streak. 56. I'm sorry, 56. You're right.
Cal Ripken's consecutive games played streak will never be broken.
Yeah, that's right. No doubt.
Cal Ripken's deal. How about the great great stolen base record? Was that Lou Brock or was that who was that broke the?
Probably Ricky Henderson.
That's Ricky Henderson. Yeah.
I don't know if he broke that.
I think he did.
Yeah, it's definitely Ricky Henderson.
All right, find out about that.
That probably won't be broken because they don't steal bases like they used to.
Exactly right. Find out about that on your computer, if you will, Mike. Of course, we want to.
I mean, that can be answered right now. I know it's Ricky Henderson.
Well, I don't know. There was some great base stealers. Lou Brock was pretty darn good. You ever heard of him? Lou Brock.
I know who Lou Brock is.
They had another guy for the Cardinals named Coleman that could steal a lot of bases.
And there was a great one for the Los Angeles Dodgers. There was a great base stealer, Mike.
Ricky Henderson was known as the Man of Steel. He's widely regarded as baseball's greatest leadoff hitter and base runner. He holds the major league record for career stolen bases.
Career stolen bases.
What about one season?
One season, Mike.
Yeah, he has 1,406 career steals.
All right.
What year how many did he have in one year?
He is 50% higher than the previous record of 938 by Lou Brock.
Lou Brock. All right, but for 1 year, who has the record for 1 year stolen bases?
Stolen bases in a season?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Okay, I don't know about that. Ricky Henderson was phenomenal. He had 280 career batting average, 3,055 hits, 297 home runs, and he batted in 1,115 runs.
Oh, yeah.
With 1,400 stolen bases. You know, I mean, what a career.
Yeah. Now give us the stolen base, single season record for stolen bases. We're talking about, I'm trying to find things
It
that are not going to be broken.
It might be Vince Coleman for the Cardinals. Now, he had tons of stolen bases.
I think 120 or 130 is going to be my guess for the single season record.
Well, let's find it. You ought to be able to find that on your computer.
All right, just give me a second.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our show is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza, and I'll tell you what, the best bargain in town is Little Caesars Pizza, hot and ready. $5 and 32 cents is the cost of that big, large pizza with one or two toppings. I think it has one topping, but it's hot and ready to go.
Ooh,
and it's the best price for a meal in town is at Little Caesars. Don't you agree?
Gosh, I spent that much for a lemonade at a restaurant I'm not going to name.
No question about it.
A restaurant that will not be named that I might not be going back to.
But I love spaghetti, and let me tell you, last night was a treat. It was a treat. I had a great salad. Now, with spaghetti, what kind of salad would you want?
I would want a salad.
Caesar. You got it.
Yeah,
I had a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
I had bread with oil.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
So I could stop it in oil.
That's
what do you call
good,
it? What do you call that, Mike?
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Thank you, Mike.
And it was really, really good. And then by that
The Godfather was in the
By that
olive
time,
oil
I'm half full, and he brings me out a platter of spaghetti. I mean, it was huge. And I said, well, I could eat all of this, but it's going to make me sick. So what I'll do, I'll just get a box and add it for a little price on. I said, put another meatball in there and charge me.
You know what? I'm on a diet. And I can't eat the pasta. But when I go off my program or have a free day, that's what I'm going to have, is that as much spaghetti as I can get.
Oh, boy, it is good. I love it.
Yeah, the record holder in a season is a guy we never heard of. He played in 1887.
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Hugh Nicole had 138 in 1887.
Oh, God, please don't bring something like that. We want modern day.
Now Rick Henderson had 130 in 1982.
Is that the most? 130 Rick
That's
Henderson?
Lou Brock had 118 in 1974.
All right, now tell me, it's one other guy other than Lou Brock.
Vince Coleman, probably.
I mean, Vince Coleman had 110 in 1985.
110, okay. So
Ricky Henderson had 108 in 1983. A guy named Maury Wills had 104.
That's the one I was thinking about. Played with the Dodgers. The great Maury Wills had 103. That's who I was thinking about.
Ty Cobb had 96 in 1915.
Yeah. No, Ty Cobb was something that Ty Cobb did something that very few people ever did. Tell us what that was.
400?
Well, no, he didn't bat 400. Well, that's right. He did. Ted Williams.
Ty Cobb batted 400.
Yeah, but Ted Williams is the last guy to bat 400.
That's right.
Ted Williams.
Tom Cobb had the most hits until Rose broke it.
That's right. And of course.
Hey, Mike, do you know, like,
there's another guy named, looks like, where was the name? I just saw it. That was a stolen base guy. I have to find his name again.
Well, let me tell you something. Ask y'all a little trivia.
Otis Nixon for the Braves used to steal a lot of bases. Y'all remember him?
I want everybody to hear this.
Tim Raines stole a lot of bases.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What else was Ty Cobb noted for? Back in those, that was big, rough baseball,
Spiking people when he...
Well, all right, yeah. What was he noted for? You're right. Spiking people. He actually... on his spikes, he sharpened his spikes.
Yeah, he
sharpened his spikes, so when he came into the base, his foot is like this now. His foot is out here getting fixing now, and you're the shortstop, and you're the second baseman, and this guy's coming in there on that double play attempt, or on that stolen base attempt, with that foot ready to take you out with razor sharp cleats. How would you feel now trying to turn a double play, Mike? This guy's coming.
Otis Nixon had 72 steals with the Braves one season.
Okay.
Who was the steal leader last year? I just want to compare that 130 that Henderson had to what the leading total is today. I mean, it's probably, 60?
It's not even close, like in the 50s maybe.
Yeah.
So the record is doubled from what people are doing today.
All right, now
everybody just hits home runs today.
Yeah. Let's go with another good trivia question. Name this. This guy got hit by a pitch more than anybody in baseball history. hit by pitch. They don't keep these stats that many times, but I think they do here because he got him on base. He got hit by pitch more than anybody in baseball history.
Lou Gehrig.
No. Bonk. You get 3 bonks and you're out.
Terry Pendleton.
Roger Maris because he was a lefty.
No. Bonk.
I don't know. I've heard this before.
All right, will you look it up on the computer, Mike?
It says a guy named Hoagie Jennings.
No. Let's
holds the major league record of most hit by pitches, getting 287 times.
No, modern day, Mike. Give me modern day. Nobody remembers that guy's name.
You don't remember the great Hoagie Jennings?
No. What did he play back in the 1800s, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, tell me modern day.
All right.
Minnie Minoso, the great Chicago White Sox. Minnie Minoso, I bet it's going to be the answer.
No, the answer is actually a guy that played and now is a Hall of Famer, Craig Biggio for the Astros.
What?
Mm-hmm. I remember him.
Biggio got hit more than Minnie Minoso?
Shoot, Biggio played 22 years.
Oh,
probably.
did he? All right, how many times did he get hit?
That's the thing about baseball.
You know, Craig Biggio's son plays in Major League Baseball now.
I didn't know that. How many times
let's
did he
see,
get?
here's your list. Craig Biggio, 285. Tommy Tucker,
Never heard of Tommy
272.
Tucker.
Don Baylor, 267.
Gosh.
Don Baylor.
Jason Kendall played for the Pirates. Brian Meadows played with him, 254. Ron Hunt, 243. Don McCann, 230. Frank Robinson, 198. Minnie Minoso's way down the list, number 10 with 192.
And I bet you not one of these guys ever rubbed their arm after they were hit or their leg.
I know it, but that
A lot of guys now wear the arm, the elbow pad, and they just, they don't care about getting hit.
It's part of the culture of the game that you cannot rub it after you're hit.
Minnie Minoso was right on top of the plate, as close to the plate as you could possibly be, and he's a big old guy and everything, and he got hit a bunch of times. In a season, I wonder if they've got it broken down in a season.
Who got hit more than once?
I know Minnie Minoso got hit a lot. Who is the great Chicago White?
Do you want to know the career hits in Major League Baseball history?
Yes.
All right, Rose is the leader at 4,256.
4,256.
Todd Cobb's at 4,189.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron's at 3,771.
Okay, now modern day, well, that's right.
Nice.
3,700. Okay.
And then Stan the Man Musials at 3,630.
Good list.
And boy, was he a great one. The great Stan the Man of St. Louis Cardinals. On that St. Louis Cardinals team, there was a great first baseman named Stan Musial, but there was also a great, one of the most popular players ever to play third base for the Cardinals. Name him. And he had a brother that played. It was a brother tandem on. Add this to it.
You talking Shane Dinks?
No, Shane Dinks was second base, and he also played with the Braves. But this is a third baseman that played with the Cardinals that just had movie star looks. Everybody loved him. And then his brother was the same way as a third baseman with the Yankees.
Clete Boyer?
Clete Boyer played third base for the Yankees.
Good. Oh.
And he was the brother. But this guy was an all-star third baseman, played with the Cardinals. And you ought to be able to get this.
I know Butch Hobson was third base for the Red Sox.
Yeah,
Mike Smith was third base for the...
This is in the 60s.
It's in the 60s. This is in the 50s and 60s. You're right. Late 50s.
I don't know.
Brooks Robinson was the most famous.
His name was Ken Boyer. You ever heard the name Ken Boyer? And he was a great third baseman. There was another great third baseman that played with the Milwaukee Braves during that time. What was his name?
Matthews?
That's right. Matthews, great home run hitter.
Ah, that's impressive.
Eddie Matthews.
Wasn't the guy for the Orioles considered the best third baseman ever?
Brooks Robinson, everybody, he's, as far as fielding, was considered one of the great third basemen of all time.
Here's the rest of the list. Number 5, Tris Speaker at 3,514. Derek Jeter, the great Yankees player, was number 6 with 3,465.
Now, that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that Jeter got over 3,000 hits. That'll tell you
way
something.
Over 3,000 hits, almost 3,500. Then some guy named Cap Anson, 3,435. Honus Wagner, 3,420.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Carl Yuzit, what is it?
Carl Yastrzemski, yeah.
at 3,419, and then a guy that played a long time. He used to have a lot of his baseball cards. Paul Mollinger had 3,319.
He was a great pure hitter, and Yaz was one of my all-time favorite players. He played with the Red Sox, but Carl Yastrzemski played left field, and what was so prevalent about left field in Boston?
The Green Monster.
The Green Monster. And he could play it off that. He had a great arm, and you had very few people.
What about Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn? They got 3,000 hits, surely?
Yeah, Tony Gwynn's at number 21 with 3,141. George Brett's number 18 with 3,154. Who do you think playing Major League Baseball has the most hits currently playing?
That's a good question.
That'd be hard for me to...
I don't keep up with it like I used to.
I don't either.
Albert Pujols has 3,166.
That's the milestone for hits is 3,000, and then pitching victories is 300. You know, if you can get 300 victories or if you can get 3,000 hits, you're in the Hall of Fame.
I'll tell you who...
Rod Carew was at 3,053.
And Carew played with the Twins, the Minnesota Twins.
Carew and Tony Gwynn chased Ted Williams and George Brett's record of hitting over 400 in one year. Those were the three guys that made a decent push at it.
All right,
it's sad. Roberto Clemente had 3,000 hits right on the number, and then he was killed in a plane crash when he died.
That's right. And what great... All right, let's mention that a little bit. People that were killed in... This is not a...
The Yankees catcher...
But the Yankees catcher...
Thurman Munson.
Thurman Munson was flying his own jet and got killed. And, of course, this past year, one of the great players in Major Leagues got killed flying his own plane. Is that right?
Yeah, Roy Halladay, yeah.
Roy Halladay. And, but out of all these records that will never be broken, I'll put 56 straight hits.
Well, it lasted for how long?
Well,
he did that in 1941.
Did he do it in 41?
Or 40?
Gosh, not that.
He did it the same year that what's his name batted 406. Ted Williams batted 4. They
did the same year.
Same year.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because I know that trivia.
But the best thing about DiMaggio is he dated Marilyn Monroe.
Well, he not dated her. He was married to her.
He married her, yeah.
And he had that big old nose, you know. Who else had a big old nose? Joe Namath had a big old nose.
You want to do a poll on the greatest noses in sports?
Hey, this is what this show's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
I think your nose keeps
brought
growing.
to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep on the bypass.
I think that your ears and your nose keep growing throughout your life, I think.
No question about it.
I want to congratulate Maggie Rice for losing her front tooth last night.
Yeah, well, that's very important. And what a cute little girl she was. I hope you got a tape of this show that she was on. If not, we'll get you one.
Okay, yeah.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot going on. This is laid-back television at its very best.
At its finest.
And we talk about different things back and forth. But I hope by you watching this, not only will you find it entertaining, you'll find it, something that...
if you're bored by one topic, you just hang around for 3 more minutes.
You might hear of something that you didn't know right here on this show. And again...
I'm about to go see our friends at Sunnyside Grill in a little while and have some breakfast.
Oh, great. I know they'll be glad to see you. Tell them I said hello. But before we go off the air, 56 game hitting streak's going to probably never be broken. 4,000 hits probably will never be broken by Rose. And those are two of the records. Anything else can you think of?
The UCLA streak in basketball will probably never be broken.
That's a good one.
That probably won't. No question about it. And Troy's 258 points in one game
will probably never be broken.
Will never be broken.
Only if it goes to overtime.
That's right, a bunch of overtimes. We hope that you've enjoyed our show, and of course, we'll be back right away here at 1 o'clock today. And that show will run till...
Did we come on the air 15 minutes late?
1:30, excuse me. Yeah, we come to where we did come on a little bit later, but I hope everybody enjoyed it. Of course, brought to you by First Cahaba Bank, located on Publix Boulevards, and you're looking for a new bank, I promise you'll love them. They're great people. Want to also mention all of our friends out at Sisters, and you can talk about all the restaurants everywhere in the state of Alabama, but where are you going to get a complete meal with all the trimmings other than sisters right here in Troy.
Of course, you got that banana pudding and bread pudding, too. That's hard to resist.
Oh, yeah, that chocolate cake. And, hey, my favorite, Mike, is their cherry pie with wonderful crust.
I think anybody that Troy is recruiting in athletics or to be a student, if you just take them and their parents out to sisters,
that's right.
They're going to say, yeah, we're going to school here.
And say, I'll pay for it. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.